Hi everybody, welcome to today's vlog. Today will be the second instalment of the build of the house. So after the first one, as you saw, we got the infrastructure ready for the builders mainly. We put in some water for the pusher so that they could mix the cement. We built a perimeter fence all the way around, a wall as we call it. It wasn't completed, but it was good enough for the security side of it. We also installed some electricity, as you saw on the first one. And I'm sitting in the Kubo, which you saw delivered, again for the use of the workers, for shelter out of A, the sun, B, the rain. And everything was ready to start the actual build of the house. Now, as I said in the first video, I wanted to do this for the workers to make their life easier, make my life easier. I'm going to put in the costs individually, i.e. how much the electricity, the peso was. I think I mentioned it was 7,500 pesos to install the water system. The posts, I can't remember how much the posts were without referring back to my books. I have everything written down, all the receipts were sent to me, so I'll do, after this one, I think I'll do a sort of like an interim cost, if you like. Listen, if any of you are thinking of coming out to the Philippines and building a house, acquiring some land and building a house, it's not as straightforward as you would have thought it was. You've got to get things like building permits, you've got to pay your tax, you've got to register the land in a registry of deeds. That is an absolute nightmare. I mean, it seems that you've got to go to about 6 different places to get all the paperwork sorted out. But anyway, we've managed to do all that, and again, I'll explain how that works in further videos down the line. So nice to see you again, and it is absolutely stifling hot. I don't know if you can, I've got the fan on, you can probably hear it on the mic, but I need it. I mean, it's just so hot. We're expecting a storm, Baguio typhoon, but apparently this typhoon is going to go a little bit further north, so we're going to get some rain, but the winds are not going to be that strong, hopefully. And we'll see how we go. But let's just get on with the next video, and keep watching. Oh, please like and subscribe, and make some comments, because the 6 or 7 videos that I've got on at the moment, I've got a couple of comments. I think it's because I'm not getting enough views. I've got a few views, not as much as my esteemed vloggers have. I mean, they've got thousands, I've got hundreds, well, not even hundreds. I'm brand new to this, so hopefully the more videos I put on, the more viewers I'll get, the more interested people I get, and the more subscribers I'll get. And again, not that I'm that bothered, but it's just interesting for you to see how things work out here. Other than that, just like I said, keep watching. I'll see you in a minute.
Ang ganda na eh. Oh. Ayan na siya. Hindi siya maingay. Very smooth.
So the gate that you can see that's being installed, I've got referring to my notes here. I think there was 2 guys. I believe it took them 2 days. So 1 day to manufacture the gate itself, or the gates, and weld all the bars together, put all the brackets and hooks and the eyes and everything else on. So inclusive of the welding, the manufacturing, the making of the gate, the materials and the labour, according to this sheet here, came to the grand sum of 20,000 pesos, which I thought was fairly expensive. But then I had a rethink and thought, well, 20,000 pesos is £300 English-ish. 2 guys, 2 days to manufacture, make, and install these gates. It's quite reasonable. Now you're going to have to add on about 10% at today's prices. This was done, as I said, 2-3 years ago. But that was just a gate. So we'll carry on. So we ordered a load of rebar, obviously for the posts and the tie beams, and there's the foreman. He's round the side there bending them over. Lots of cement, but we ordered it as and when we needed it. And then they started to dig the footing holes for the post, and they started to mix the cement by hand. Now I did ask them if they wanted me to get a mixer, but here's Mum and Dad said that they were okay doing it by hand for the first stage. Obviously I'm going to order a mixer for later on when the work starts getting a bit heavier. They're just forming all the posts, and they're setting them in, obviously. They're pretty quick. I mean, they've done this in 2 or 3 days. This set the forms out for the tie beams, continuing to mix by hand. Must be really hot. Now I asked for these particular tie beams, the floor tie beams, to be 600 millimeters, 60 centimeters deep, because I wanted to make sure that the house was up off the floor, off the deck, to give us a sufficient height. So that was the end of the first week. I thought they'd done really well to get as far as they did. They were sending us daily reports, daily videos, as to how much materials were costing. I was sending them money, obviously, for what they needed. Well, I think they cracked on and they've done really well. As I say, we hired contractors. Now I've got we gave them a contract which they signed. I've got it here. Contract of labour. Make sure you get one of them if you're going to get a contractor to build your house, because you can write down the terms and conditions, set out what works you want. They sent me a detailed script or estimate as to how much money they wanted for the work that they were going to do. I went through it and we agreed. So I drew up a contract, sent it down, got the foreman to sign it, and they sent it back to me. And it was all signed, sealed and delivered. The price was on there. Didn't really want, I mean, you should get it notarized, but I trust these guys. They kept giving me a breakdown of sick days, people didn't turn up, etc., etc. But that wasn't a problem because they was on a contract. It was on a contracted price. I'm not going to tell you how much the contracted price was. I looked at it and I thought it's a little bit cheap, or too cheap for the amount of work that they've got to do. So I put a contingency into place to pay them extra money, because I was going to be guaranteed that at the end of that, they said it was going to take them 8 weeks. I was going to be guaranteed that it's going to go on a little bit further than that. So I put aside some money to give them some extra. There's no way they were going to do it in that time. But there it is. We're up to that stage after the first week. One thing I didn't mention was the cost of the electric posts that we put up. So I've got that here. We had to pay for the metal posts, and they're called 5GI metal posts, which we got a receipt for, and they were 9,000. Now I'm looking down here, and it was 9,000. The welded some eyes on the top of the post to carry the wire, labour, installation of posts and wirings. Now the wirings, I'm assuming, was done by the Iseco, the electric company. The total cost was 13,500. That's for 5 posts. We had actually one extra. All the labour to dig the holes, set them in, weld the little wire holes on, and run the cable. So I thought that was a pretty good price. And then obviously I gave them some food and their fare. Some of them had to get a tricycle. Not everyone's got a bike here. But that was it, the first week. We also had to pay occupancy permit and a house inspection. So Iseco sent out somebody to inspect where the electric was going, and that came to a total of 781.40, and then we had to have that was notarized, so that was 500. So they had to go down and notarize it. So I think the cable and the wire, we had to pay for that 2,660, which was a grand total of 19,591. That was for the permit, the inspection, the notary, the posts, the materials, i.e. the cement, etc. The cable, the wire, 95mm apparently. It's at 28 pesos per metre. That was then. It'd probably be a little bit higher now, maybe 35, 40, something like that. Welding labour, installation of posts and wirings, foods and fare, 19,591.4. So there you have it. That's the end of the first week. I won't do any more today. We're about sort of like 13 minutes in, I think, on this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I must apologise for the picture quality. I'm just using my phone and a microphone. I haven't got all the gadgets that these professional vloggers have got. I've got a tripod and a phone and a mic, But sometimes when we're walking about, you get shakes. You think you need one of those, what do they call them, gimbals, isn't it? I don't know what they're called. Stabilise your camera. Well, I can't afford one of them at the moment. I don't know how much they are. I think they're pretty expensive, aren't they? Somebody put a comment in the box down below. And leave some comments. I mean, you might have some, you know, questions to ask, you know, that I've left out. So just ask a few questions, and don't forget, like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Babush.